Welcome to Activities for Multilingual Families, the channel where we share ideas to help you foster your languages in a fun and compelling way. I'm Ute, and in this short video I share with you a few activities that don't need preparation to foster speaking with our toddlers, primary school children and teenagers. No matter if we get to spend time in the country where our home languages are spoken or if we just enjoy free time at home, vacations allow us to spend more time with our children and connect in a fun and more relaxed way. Now, you might do this already, but during vacation our children will observe us a little bit more than usual. So let's increase using our language, listen even more to the radio and podcasts in our language, update our Spotify lists and make maybe new one with our children. Choose movies, films, games and TV shows in our language. Seeing and hearing us enjoy our language, talk about what we see, read and listen to can motivate our children to do the same. If we have toddlers, we probably already used to talk about all that surrounds us. At least this is a habit we can develop very early on in order to provide a great variety of input in our languages for our children. We now spend more time with our children, and maybe extended family or friends who speak our language get to spend more time with our children too. We can increase this talking in all situations. When in the car, the bus, the train, the airplane, when we are out and about, visit a city, the beach or the mountain, and we can focus more on the details. Our toddlers might have learned some new words in the daycare language, and now is the time to add these words in the home languages too. So let's explore them, use them in many different contexts. Vacation is also the time where we can help our toddlers consolidate what they know by repeating words or concepts and connect words and objects in our language. A simple game that makes this a bit more fun is I spy with my little eye something that is, for example, blue and round, so has the color and shape of, or feels fluffy, smooth, cold or warm, tastes sweet or salty, sounds loud, etc. So let's explore the language with all our senses. We can play this game spontaneously when grocery shopping, waiting in a line during any kind of outings, at the zoo, the amusement park, the mountain, the beach, waiting for a meal in the restaurant. It can get everyone in a good mood. And the fun side effect is if you do this regularly, your toddler might want to play it over and over and over again. We can continue this I Spy game by using more sophisticated words with our primary school age children and link to what they know and have learned so far. Vacation is the time where we can pause thinking about school curricula and grades and focus on connecting and having fun. So let's create moments where our children can share their thoughts in our language. Let them decide about the topic they want to talk about. By involving them in the decision-making process, for example, they will be more keen to talk and share their thoughts and ideas. We can, for example, ask them to lead the way through the city. Reading a map is an important skill anyways. Other children might prefer helping prepare a meal or shop for it or decide what games to play. When our children are used to speaking more in the school language, vacation is the time to increase communication in our home languages. They might need a little bit of time to adjust to it, to make the shift. But if we let our children set the pace and encourage them to build on what they know and what they can already do, they will make great progress. Our children usually have a real language boost during vacations. Just to make an example, we can help them sequence what they say by using words that can help them organize their thoughts and ideas, with a first, second, then, after, next, at the end, finally, later, tomorrow, in 2 days. Storytelling skills are very important in any language. But remember, let them choose topics that go beyond the usual ones. So invite them to share what they are thinking, what they are looking forward to, what they wish for, what they worry about, what makes them upset, what makes them happy and excited, what they want to tell us about, maybe their friends or pets, or the activities they want to try out, what sports they like or want to try, what instruments they like to learn to play. These are just a few suggestions. If our children are usually not the most talkative type, when we take the time to sit quietly next to them and let them decide when to start talking and let them do so at their very own pace, they will naturally become more confident talkers. Some children prefer sharing their thoughts whilst doing any kind of activity or chore, for example, when setting the table, preparing a meal, getting ready to go out, or playing a game. These are all moments where the attention is more on the activity than on the talking. To keep the conversation flowing, we can ask open questions that cannot be answered by simply yes or no. And should they struggle with a word or concept, we can take time to help them find the right one. If we don't have a dictionary or thesaurus at hand, we can use one on our smartphone. And let's remember, it's time to connect, not to correct or teach. Our teenagers might prefer talking with their peers, and that's okay. But it's not a reason not to take the time to actively listen to them. Our teenagers have incredibly interesting views on the world. If we want to consolidate our connection with them, we can invite them to share their opinions on a current topic, politics, economy, news, anything. Let's invite them to share their convictions, ideas, and perspectives, and let them explain what makes them think that way. Logical reasoning, deducing, assuming is something they need to be able to do in the school language. Now it's the time we can help them become more confident doing this in their home languages too. Allow me a little parenthesis. I always suggest avoiding the question why, as this little word actually intrinsically carries a judgment. When asked why, we usually get into a defensive mode. And this defensive mode can lead the conversation to become an argument. So asking what makes you think or do or say that is a much more effective way for the other person to share more about the reason. With our teenagers, listening without interrupting is, like with our youngest one, the key to discovering the many facets of their language skills. We get to know also what they think, what bothers them, what they're worried about, what they are happy about, what they view, the way they view the world, people, relationships, friendships. Another way to connect with teenagers is to share and engage in what they are interested in. For example, in movies or series. We can suggest them to watch them in our language. Movie nights are a great bonding opportunity. And what about movie nights outdoors, and invite neighbors or friends and watch a movie in our language for a change? We can still add subtitles for those who need them. The talking part about the movie will then come naturally and can lead to very interesting discussions about culture, habits, beliefs, ways to do and portray things, and ways to express emotions like anger, affection, frustration. Fostering language is also about fostering its culture. And if we watch a movie in our home language with people who are learning our language, it can be a great boost for our children, who will be happy to share what they know and be proud to be multilingual. Maybe your teen can invite some friends to spend days with you, maybe even in your country, and see your teen in action in your home language. I assure you that gives our children a great boost. To make this a positive experience for everyone, I suggest to make sure that all understand, or preferably also speak the language to some extent at least. We want this to be an enriching and motivating experience for everyone. Especially when our children are schooled in another language than our home language, let's agree on switching to the home language for a longer period of time. We can negotiate this with our teenagers. When they get to decide the moment of the day or time they want to immerse themselves into the language, it is way more effective. And as we all are way more talkative when we share an experience together, like the movie nights, karaoke nights, for example, can be a great way to be silly with our teenagers too. We can slip in 2 or 3 songs in our language that have catchy tunes and that we enjoy singing to. Why not add some songs we listened to when we were our children's age? Now allow me to add this last one for us, the parents and caregivers. Expanding our vocabulary is important too, especially when we don't get to frequently visit the country where our language is spoken, or when we don't use our own language that frequently with other adults. Let's get up to date with the latest movies, series, songs, new words. This will make it more interesting for the whole family, and it will give us also a topic to talk about with our extended family and friends who are immersed into the language, and bond with them too. So, what movie will you watch in your language? What songs are you collecting in a list? And what podcasts or series do you enjoy the most in your languages? Let us know in the comments here below. And if you like these few ideas, please click subscribe and click the bell to get notified when we publish a new video. Have fun with your languages!